Through EDM 310, I have learned so much this semester. Before coming into this class, I had absolutely no idea of all of the possibilities of technology that could be included in your classroom. I know tools and social networking sites such as Twitter and Blogger and Skype existed, but I had no intention of using them in my classroom because I didn't think they served any educational purpose. However, after taking this class, I learned that they do serve a purpose and that they can be used for educational purposes and they can be used to help your kids and to help them to learn. I also learned an interesting idea called flipping the classroom. And I thought this was really neat because it would allow students to watch videos at home and to learn the material before they come to class. I think that it could work for high school students because it allows them to watch these videos at home and then they can spend as much time as they need rewinding the material and reviewing it. And then when they come to class, we can expand on what they've learned. We can actually teach some real world methods for what they are learning, and it would allow me to help kids who are struggling in certain areas. I definitely hope to incorporate the tools such as Blogger into my classroom. I think it's a great way to make connections with people all over the world because through Blogger I've made so many connections and I plan to keep on using these tools myself because I know that it will help me as an educator to be able to make connections and see what people are doing in other classrooms around the world because I may see ideas that I want to use and that will help me to become a better teacher. Overall, I don't think my views on how I want to teach my classroom have necessarily changed. I just think that the ideas of what I want to incorporate in my classroom have changed because I think that technology is important. That's one thing that this class taught me. It allows for a different type of learning to take place, not just the traditional paper and pencil and open your textbook type learning, but it allows students to experience real world methods and get involved and actually actively participate in what they are learning. Students will be engaged in what they're learning. EDM 310 has also changed me in the fact that it has taught me how to become an independent learner. And so no more Burt back education is taking place, and I don't want that type of education to take place in my classroom. I know how important it is for me to be able to find my own resources and to be able to effectively learn on my own, and I want to teach my students how to do this because it's important for them because when they get out into the real world, no one is going to spoon feed them at work or in their job. They have to be able to learn information on their own, and especially teaching high school students, it's important for them to learn this now because they're about to enter the real world. I've also learned some interesting tools that I could incorporate into my classroom. Through Pinterest, I found a lot of ideas for interactive bulletin boards because I want my classroom to be inviting for my students. I want my students to come in and to be able to enjoy learning. And so these interactive bulletin boards would allow me to create projects for them that would help them learn the topic that we are discussing, and it would be a creative way to decorate my classroom. Another interesting thing I learned in EDM 310 was Google Docs, which I had never used before. And I think this would be a great tool for me to use in my classroom because it would allow me to create documents and share them with my students, and they can access this information, whether they're at school or at home. It's not just something that they have to do at school. They can take it home with them as well because they can, as long as they have internet, they can access what is put in Google Docs. And so I believe that EDM 310 has changed me for the better. I believe that it has taught me so much about technology through Google Docs and Twitter and Skype and Blogger. And I've learned how to effectively incorporate these pieces of technology into my classroom. I understand why it's important to incorporate technology into your classroom, that technology is not going away, and that instead of hiding and running away from technology, we should embrace it and we should learn how to effectively use it. And I think it's important for me to teach my students this as well. So I think that I have definitely changed for the better, and I thoroughly enjoyed the semester in EDM 310, and I definitely learned a lot.